Should be recording. Tested it earlier and it was, so.
Hey guys, this is the iGaming 1776 and I just want to say hi. I don't get in front of the camera very much for a lot of reasons, and I'm going to start doing that more often. And to be honest with you, I've wanted to do this for a while because I wanted to say thank you. This channel has 2,500 followers right now. I think it's 2,573, not that I'm counting. And it has almost 2.1 million views. 2 million 70 some odd. Again, I'm not counting, but almost 2.1 million views. And I've been wanting to thank you guys for a long time, since 1,000 subscribers, because that felt monumental at the time. And 2.5 thousand, that's not bad either. And I appreciate all of you. And I've been wanting to get in front of the camera and I've been wanting to say thank you. But I've been wanting to take my time and figure out the way that I wanted to do it. And that's what I'm here for. I want to share that with you, all right? So really quickly, let's just address this. I do not have camera skills, all right? And again, I normally don't get on camera. And to be honest with you guys, I'm just a dude who had to get a babysitter to do this, and I have a very short period of time. So the production values for when I get on camera are not going to be that good. There is a light, a huge, giant, bright light that is almost blinding me right now. I'm using that because otherwise there would be too much grain in the picture. But other than that, not a lot will be going on with production values. Okay, so with all that said, what I've been wanting to do is thank you guys. And it didn't feel like it was enough to just sit down and say thanks or do a silly dance or anything. I wanted to figure out how could I really thank you. And you might know from this channel that I've spent a lot of time trying to show you guys how different products work. Now, if you've seen a lot of my videos, you know it's not just video games. I know right now I'm introducing myself as AI Gaming 1776, but I also do product reviews for things like refrigerators, vacuums. I'm going to be adding vehicles to the mix. So I have more than just a gaming audience, if I'm honest. All right. So in general, and these are going to shake when I move, I apologize. But in general, what I do is I tell people how products perform. I spend my own money on the products. I use the products in real life. I usually use them for a while before I open my mouth and start talking about how they do. And as a result, I've been able to share useful information with people. And I'm happy to do that. I enjoy doing it. So, when I decided how I wanted to thank all of you, I decided that I want to do a better job of being able to show you more products and then do a better actual job of the showing and of the demonstrating. And that means sometimes I will have to get in front of the camera. To be honest with you, I have never been in front of the camera for one single product demonstration in almost 500 videos. I think I have 477 videos on YouTube right now. Again, not like I'm counting. Okay, I totally counted. So anyway, point is, almost 500 videos, and I've never been on camera. And I've realized that if I want to do a better job of demonstrating products, sometimes I will need to be on camera. And I will need better equipment. I will need to use lighting. I will need to start editing my videos. This is going to be one of the few videos you've seen that's edited so far, because I normally do not edit videos. I edited a carpet shampooing video because, to be honest with you, it was carpet shampooing and I didn't want to make people wait for me to dump the water out, but normally I don't edit videos. So I need to edit videos, which is going to take more time. It's going to take more effort. I need to have lighting. I need to be in front of the camera, and I need to buy more products. All right. So that's in general for the channel as a whole. By the way, the channel that you guys are most likely familiar with is AI Politics 2. I told a friend who's a decent sized YouTuber, I never expected to have 2,000 people watching the videos. I never expected to have millions of views. I didn't expect all this. So the channel and everything, that's kind of an accidental situation. Going forward, there will be different channels, okay, for the product reviews, for the gaming, and so on. I will still continue to put videos on this channel like I always have, the AI Politics 2 channel. That's AI Politics 2. I will continue to do that, but to make things easier for people in the future, I will have separate videos, because I have people who subscribe to me for Dyson reviews who might not care about a GTX 1070. So as a result, I will be trying to do some different channels, and I'm in the process of setting that up. So with all that out of the way, I want to say thank you. And then I also want to show you some of the stuff that I've been doing already and some of the stuff that I'm going to do in the future. You see, I don't normally do vlogs, and you guys don't know what I've been up to. I have spent 6 months on 2 computers, just 2 computers, testing them with different power supplies, with different CPU coolers, with different fan arrangements. A lot of people tell you not to have negative pressure in your case, in your PC case, because it'll suck dust into it. But negative pressure got me lower temperatures when I was testing, for whatever that's worth. I don't have negative pressure right now. I've got it pretty much balanced out. But I'm just saying, I spent days upon days upon days just testing all kinds of little things. And I never really posted updates, so you guys don't really know what I've been up to. So I want to get better at showing you what I've been up to, what's in progress. All right, so these are 3 of my major graphics cards, but what you don't see here is you don't see my 2GB GTX 960, my 4GB GTX 960, my GTX 970 Superclock from EVGA, my Asus Strix R9 390, my Asus Strix R9 390X, and my MSI Gaming R9 380 4GB model. You don't see all those. And my GTX 745. So I've got these cards here. Okay, so that's the graphics cards. Now I also want to talk to you about my systems that I use to test the graphics cards in. Now my everyman system consists of an i7 4790, 16 gigabytes of DDR3 memory. I believe it's at about 1800 speed. And then I use a 1 terabyte SSD. It's from SanDisk. It's an Ultra 2 or Ultra 3, whatever their current model of the Ultra is. And all of those components are decidedly middle of the road. It's not the slowest DDR3, it's not the fastest. It's not the fastest CPU, it's not the slowest. And then for the storage, it's a SanDisk SSD, which, not to hate on SanDisk, it's a perfectly serviceable SSD, but it's not the fastest SSD and it's not the slowest. And then I've been using Windows 10 for the last several months, and prior to that I used Windows 7. So that's my everyman system, because for a long time I wanted to be able to use one system that could show how graphics cards perform for most people. Okay, if somebody had a super overclocked, really expensive CPU and it was on water or what have you, then maybe they would have better performance than me. And if somebody had a really cheap CPU, maybe they'd have worse performance than me, but the goal was to be in the middle of the road. All right, so that's why I did that. Now, since then, I've added a 6700K that's overclocked to 4.535 gigahertz. I couldn't quite get 4.6 stable, but the 4.535 is very, very stable. All right, it's rock solid. And on top of that, it has 2400 speed DDR4 memory. All right. I thought that would be a pretty good system to say, okay, what if we use a more powerful system than the everyman system? The thing is that Skylake system very often does not show me that big of an improvement. And I found that to be very interesting. And I think some of it might come down to the RAM. And the reason I say that is I know other people who use faster RAM and they seem to have better experiences. I could be wrong though. It's going to be an experiment. And I've seen plenty of people debunk the myth. I say myth. I've seen plenty of people say that faster RAM doesn't help. I don't know if it will or not. But to find out, what I've done is I've ordered an EK Predator 360 that's coming to cool the CPU. And then I've ordered a new motherboard. The motherboard that I was using for the 6700K is an Asus Tough Z170 board, the white one that's kind of got like the silver camo on it. Well, now I have the ROG Maximus 8 Gene, which is a micro ATX version of their ROG board. All right, so let me dig that out. I'm going to show you the RAM in a minute. I know I mentioned RAM, and I will be showing you that. So this is going to go into a micro ATX case. It's going to be the Corsair Air 540, okay? And the reason I picked that case is because it accommodates a 360 millimeter radiator, but it also does not take up too much space, all right? Like not taking up too much space was very important to me. So I will be cooling my 6700K with an EK Predator. It's on its way. It's a 360 EK Predator, all right? And then I'm going to be using, this is G-Skill Trident Z RAM, and it should be 3200 speed. That's what I ordered. It doesn't say on the box. You would think it would say right away, but this is the Trident Z. It's the graphite and gray color. The case that I'm going to use, the Corsair 540, is dark silver and black. So it's going to go well with that motherboard. It's going to go well with this RAM. It's going to have an EK Predator 360 cooling it, because I wasn't going to play around, right? Like, we're going to get serious. Like, put a really good not air cooler, but water cooler on that CPU. Now, for what it's worth, I've used a Noctua. Is it the DH15? I'm not always brilliant when it comes to knowing these model numbers off the top of my head. But the big giant Noctua, it's got 2 towers and 2 40mm fans. I've used that on it, and I've been using a Fantex on it. The Fantex equivalent, again, has a long string of letters and numbers. Maybe I'll put that on the screen right here or up here somewhere. Anyway, I've been using the Fantex, and it happens to be about 2 to 5 degrees warmer than the Noctua, if I'm honest. But I still can get, I don't know, like 72 to 75 degrees when I do a 45-minute stress test on my 6700K. Maybe I'm telling you guys too much. Maybe I'm going into the weeds with this. I don't know. But I'm just trying to communicate with you, all right? So the 6700K, I am water cooling it. I'm going to give it faster RAM, all right? All of my power supplies are all EVGA Platinum power supplies. Now, one is a 1200 watt P2 power supply, and then all of the rest are 1000. It's another EVGA. I'll have to dig it out of the box. It's in this box right here. They're all 1000 watt Platinum EVGA power supplies. And I've even thought about trying to use the Corsair 1500 watt power supply or 1600 watt. It's prohibitively expensive. It's over $400. But I've thought about trying it to see if maybe that would make a difference. And that's something that when I get around to it, I'll do it. I can't get around to it right now because there are other priorities. Namely, the RX 480 is on the way. I already have a GTX 1070, but I need another one with an aftermarket cooler, an AIB model, if you will. And then I need a GTX 1080. And I know I'm jumping around, guys, but please bear with me. All right, so when I take the system that I have my 6700K in right now, when I take that out, I'm going to use this Asus Z97 motherboard, the white saber-tooth one, which I love. I'm going to put that in a red case with a 4690K. All right. So in case you're like keeping track, and I'm sorry for jumping around so much, and I know I've been accused of my videos being confusing because I jump around, but please just bear with me. Like, if you skip through the video, of course, it's going to be a little bit confusing, but hopefully just following this, if you watch straight through, hopefully it's pretty easy. All right. So this is a different system. We're going to get to that still. So in case you haven't seen it, these things are beautiful. I actually had to order this from England. It's pretty hard to get these Asus motherboards. I had one for another build, and I liked it so much that I wanted another before you couldn't get them anymore. So let me show you this, if I can dig it out. There we go. These are beautiful, especially when you put them in a red case. Now, I use the NZXT Phantom 410 cases. And the reason I use it, look, even though the back of this has a metal brace that's got a matte finish on it, it's beautiful. So the reason I use NZXT Phantom cases a lot of the time is they paint the inside of their cases. All right, you buy a red Phantom case, the inside is red. You buy a white Phantom case, the inside is white. You buy gunmetal, the inside is gunmetal. Whereas with most cases, the outside is one color, but the inside is black. Your red case has a black inside a lot of the time. So that's one of the reasons why I use NZXT Phantom cases. The problem is they do not support 360mm radiators unless you modify them. Now, they have plenty of fan support, okay? The NZXT Phantoms, and please forgive the crinkling. So the NZXT Phantom cases, they have support for 2 120mm fans in the front for intake, and then one 120mm fan on the bottom for intake. And then on top, they have support for 2 40mm fans, or 120s for that matter, but up to 40mm fans to exit the back, and then they also take a 120mm to exit the back. So with the NZXT, which I'm looking at off camera right now, you could have the you can have your 980 Ti hybrid, right? And you can actually put the radiator in the back slot the back exhaust fan slot for the 120, and you still can have two 40mm fans up top to exhaust air. It's a pretty decent setup, and if you time your purchase correctly, you can get a Phantom 410 case for about 90 bucks, anywhere from 90 to 110, and they're mostly metal. All right, I'm not trying to sell you one. To be honest with you, I've had two that I've used so far, and I've had blemishes on the cases. And I don't know if that's part of why I've gotten them so cheap. Maybe the reason why they've been so cheap is because the cases have had blemishes. I don't know. But I don't know if that's why I've gotten the cases so cheap, because they have not been perfect. But anyway, moving on. So for my next build, I'm going to have an FX 6300, which you can see right here. These are some of the other components that will go in it. I'll show you those in a second. But I want to recap, just to catch you guys up in case you haven't, in case you just skipped to here or whatever. So there is a 6700K overclock that I'm using. There is a 4790 non-overclock that I'm using. There is a 4690K that I'm about to be using, and an FX 6300 that I'm going to be using. And what I did, I decided to go kind of cheap with the FX 6300 build, kind of not. This is a $99 processor as of right now, okay? It's one of the cheaper processors you can get. I believe it's a 6-core. Yeah, it's a 6-core. It overclocks fairly decently, but it's a $99 processor, so I don't expect a whole lot out of it, even with an overclock. But what I've done is I got a $50 motherboard. You can get this for about $56. And I'm going to be honest with you. I picked this motherboard. It's a Gigabyte, obviously, but I picked this motherboard. This does not feel like an anti-static bag. This feels like a normal bag. Huh. I ordered a blue motherboard on the internet. I ordered a blue motherboard, and they even sent me a blue SATA cable. This was going to be a blue build. They sent me a black motherboard. This was supposed to be a blue build. I even picked a Crucial SSD because it's blue and silver. I was going to put it in a white NZXT Phantom case with blue RAM. Again, this is not blue. This is not a blue. I'm going to have to find out what happened. This is not a blue motherboard, so I bought blue RAM, which is a Hyper Fury. I believe it is 1300 speed. I did that on purpose. I chose slower speed RAM because I wanted to know if the slower speed DDR3 with a $50 motherboard and a $99 processor, I wanted to see how it would do. Anyway, I've talked to a lot of people on Twitter and in the comments of my videos and so on about how I've been wanting to do these things for a long time, but I've had to save up the money to do it. All of this has been purchased piecemeal. And just so you know, and I don't want to be tacky right now, but a lot of people ask me in the comments, well, how do you afford all this stuff? I'm going to be honest with you. I budget, I save. What I do is, anyway, this video, and it's probably going to be a little bit of a hot mess because normally, again, I'm not on camera and I'm trying to cobble it together. The editing job might be a little bit janky, as evidenced by the fact this stuff probably popped up right in front of you. The purpose of this video is to say thank you and to show you what I've been up to as far as on the gaming front. And then if for some reason you're not even interested in gaming and you've been watching this whole thing so far and you care more about the other things that I'm going to do on the channel, rest assured I am working on those things too. Alright, so this has been AI Gaming 1776. Hopefully this video has caught you up on some of the things I'm doing, and hopefully I can get better at doing the on-camera stuff and it'll turn into something on this channel that people actually want to watch. I don't know. I think the way it's going to work is some people will want to watch it and some people won't, and that's perfectly fine. To be honest with you, with the way the channel is growing, I do have some viewers who just want the information and that is it. They want the best settings in a game. They want to know what kind of frame rate they can expect in the game. They don't want me, right? Like, they don't want me to talk. They don't want me to be conversational. They just, hey man, what's the settings? What's the frame rate? And that's all they want. And then there's other people that are like, no, they like it when I'm conversational. So we'll see how this goes. There is a part of me who is held back from doing videos like this and being conversational and like tone down how conversational I am in my videos because I didn't want to be off-putting to the people who don't want that. And I've been thinking about it, and in a way, if that's going to dictate what I choose to do in these videos, then I'm not serving the people who do want me to be conversational, who do want the videos to be longer and more in depth. So I'm trying to serve both masters. And you know what they say, if you try to serve two masters, then no one's going to be happy. And I don't know, I'm trying to get it sorted out, guys. Like I said, I never really thought this channel would take off. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but there's a lot of little channels on YouTube that don't take off. And why would I even think mine would? I mean, it'd be kind of silly to expect that mine would. At least that's what I think of it. So, this has been AI Gaming 1776. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Thank you so much for your subscribing and for your liking and for sharing the videos. And honestly, even the people who have given criticisms on the videos, believe it or not, I listen to them. A lot of times they're valid. Sometimes they're said in a pretty rude way. But they're still valid, and I try to take something from them. But as far as production quality goes on videos, I don't know when that's going to be great. I'm just being real. I'm being 100% real. I am a dad first, and I do work, and this is something that I squeeze in when I can get a babysitter, or when the kids are in bed, or something along those lines, all right? So production values, I do want to do better at, and hopefully I will. Hopefully I'll get better. And in the meantime, hopefully, regardless of the production values, people still like the videos anyway. That's what I hope anyway. So, again, thank you so much for watching, guys. I really do appreciate you. And if you've watched this whole thing, then hopefully you appreciate me. And this could be a great relationship. Who knows? All right. That's more than enough. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Have yourselves an excellent day. This has been AI Gaming 1776.